Okay, this is DVD number 3 of Grandma Armour's 8mm camera.
Snowstorm.
This is a snowstorm. This is Grandma and Grandpa's house. If we see some more pictures, we can maybe establish a date.
There's Ruby going to take a picture of who?
Well, that's
Arlie and Alvera and Lisa.
Lisa, yeah. This is at the back of Grandma's house.
There's Lisa and the doggy.
Right. There's Anarene standing beside Arlie. Anarene's sister of Grandma Lydia's.
Can't tell what that is. It's a family get-together. They're out under the tree.
Yeah, this is down at Grandma and Grandpa's.
We can't see their faces.
That's taken south. Picture taken south of the house.
Cannot see them. Some of the grandkids under the tree, but we don't know, can't tell who they are. I don't know who that is. Is that Lisa? This is sad. We can't tell who they are.
This is
There's Wendell. That's Lisa. We're all in there, I think.
that's Lisa?
Yeah, I think it is. You know, there's Alvera and Lisa.
Yep, Alvera and Lisa.
Well,
And,
there was Alvera. Lord, I don't know. There's Judy
Okay,
sitting
these
on a
are
box.
grandkids having a picnic out there southeast or southwest of the house.
They're dressing up in Grandma's clothes. There's
Yeah.
Gail, and there's Nancy.
Nancy, Gordon and Lucy's daughter.
And there's Gail again.
Gail in the red.
Patty.
Patty, yeah. Judy sitting on the box.
There's Eileen.
Gordon.
That looks like that might be.
Well, cleaning up cars. That's Gordon's car they're working on. Cleaning it up. Okay, there's Palmer Edstrand. That's Gordon's father-in-law. The old guy on the left. And then what was Gordon's mother-in-law's name?
I don't
Mabel?
remember. Mm-hmm.
And is that Sonny Edstrand?
Yes, Sonny.
Lucy's brother?
Yeah. Is Donna there?
I don't know.
They've been fishing.
Yeah, they've been fishing now. This is back out at Gordon's place in Albuquerque. Or maybe up in Minneapolis. That's about where it is, up in Minneapolis.
That's Jan and Patty and David
David.
holding their fish.
Yep. There's Gordon and Palmer and Sonny. Cleaning fish. Family fun for everyone.
There's Ruby and Bill.
Bill Cover. Yep.
They're leaving.
Yep.
Bye, Ruby and Bill.
But leaving from where?
We don't know what this is.
Is that John?
Here's another get-together. There's Berta and Eileen. There's Kevin and John and Dennis. There's Brian and, gee, there was a cookout at Grandma's house
Yeah.
again. I wonder if that's Alice cooking.
I think so. There's me at the table.
There's Dennis and Kevin, Mike.
Yep.
And there's Brian and Gail. There's Adeline and Annadelle and Tim and Mark
Yep.
and John. They're going to Florida, I guess.
Heading home, probably.
Those boys weren't twins. They were 11 months apart.
Yep. Adeline,
There they go.
Annadelle, John. There's Walter and Della Fullington, John and Berta's parents. Pretty well loaded down again, isn't it? Wow.
Grandma made all these pillows for each of her children. I think my kids probably still got some of theirs. They were corduroy.
Well, there's a... Where are we at? That's Cinnamon. There's Grandma. Christmas tree, Ruby, and...
Jeff. There's Grandma and Jeff.
Yep.
That's Christmas at Grandma Armour's.
What would the year be there?
I have no idea. Oh, there's Susie baby. That was Gina's baby. I think. I don't know who that is.
Out there pretty close to the road, though.
There's Arlie, Elvira, and Lisa.
Where are we at?
Probably Arlie and Elvira.
Arlie and Elvira's place? Must be. There's Bill and Ruby,
Jeff
and Elvira.
and Lisa.
Yep.
Who's that?
Well, I don't know. Somebody had a boat.
Looks like Ellis and Eileen's boat. Oh, this is interesting. Here's Brian, and he's feeding his ducks.
Yeah.
This is fun. Watch this.
They're not taken to the feed very well.
Now
Oh,
he's
we're
watering his ducks.
Yeah, we're gonna water them down. Ducks are supposed to like water, so we're gonna give them some water.
There's Bill and Jeff.
John and Bill
and
Kemper.
That's Mark. Or is it Timmy? I don't know.
There's
That's the Varner and the Fullington family,
Yep.
and Bill and Ruby Kepper. And that's Mark and Tim.
Yep.
There's Annette, Brian, Mike,
Alice and Eileen.
Alice and Eileen. And There's Bill and
Ruby.
Ruby and Jeff. John and Adeline.
John, Adeline, and boy, there's Ruby and Ellis. Well, we're gonna chop down a tree out there southwest of Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Oh, there it went.
Wind took some of it down, so we're gonna get rid of it, clean it up. I don't remember that truck being around or whose it was.
There's Aunt Vi. And who else? Mrs. Hall. Must be some ladies from the church. There's Mary Caston.
Again. And Irene talking to her.
Irene. There's Florbell a lot.
Oh, there's
Uncle Jim with Eldon and Wendell and Dennis and
that Dane,
Berta, me,
Geneva. Is that
Helen Scott.
Yeah.
There's Dennis and Dane.
And there's a picture of Aunt Jess on the right and Helen. Aunt Jess was my dad's sister.
There's Gina and Wendy and their cats. Gina's curly haired. Guess Grandma was going to fly away. I probably took her to the airport.
This is
It's Gordon.
This is at Gordon and Lucy's. Yep. There's
Okay.
Lucy and her 4 kids.
They were up in the mountains, evidently.
Janice, Lucy, Patty, Nancy, and David Garden.
It used to be their favorite thing, go to the mountains.
Yep.
Who's that out there throwing that last
don't know.
rock?
This is at Gardens down in Albuquerque, I presume.
There's Lucy and Patty and Nancy.
There's Grandma Armour with some grandkids. There's a peacock.
I'll bet that was in Florida
Flamingos.
at the
Winter Garden.
Winter Haven.
Winter Haven.
How's that for a peacock?
Yeah, that's quite a peacock.
There's Nancy and Patty and Jan and David.
Yeah.
Maybe they were in Albuquerque doing this.
I don't know. Could be. Looks like Albuquerque country.
We're not talking because we don't know what this is. What is that?
Well, Garden's on the right.
That's Gordon and Lucy's family and They must be with friends.
Must be friends of theirs, yeah. Grandma loved flowers, so she couldn't resist taking pictures of flowers. This must be in Albuquerque at Gordon and Lucy's place.
Gordon and Lucy's kids could probably tell you much more about this than we can. Those fish were not a part of the family.
Yeah. That sounds kind of fishy, doesn't it?
We haven't edited a lot of this out because we thought it might be of interest to different people in different families. So you're getting the total scope of what she did. There's Gordon and his family. There's David and Mickey Mouse and Jan and Patty.
We're at Disneyland. Are we really at Disneyland? Did Mom go on a trip with them to Disneyland?
I don't know.
I think that must be the case.
How cool. How much longer?
Must be still at Disneyland. Yeah, this is still a Disneyland trip with Garden of Lucy, I suppose. Must be on a return trip back to Albuquerque. Could this be the Grand Canyon? That's about what it is, isn't it?
Looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty size ditch. There's
What do we got here?
freedom something.
Mercury 7 spacecraft.
I bet this was at Cape Canaveral.
Oh, that's out west.
What do you
That's
think?
still with Garden of Lucy and their family.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's Patty and her dogs. There's Patty and Nancy and their dogs.
Mm-hmm. Mother carrying the puppy around. Well, we must be at the airport. Getting ready to fly home. We made it back home to see the roses.
Phlox.
Phlox? Yeah, okay.
Daffodils.
Daffodil. Okay.
No lilies.
All right. This is again looking out the north window, I think.
And we're at a picnic, but I can't tell who's behind them shadows.
What would the dates be on this? In the 60s?
Yeah. What year did your mother die?
71. Dad died in 59. This has got to be in the 60s. There's John. That's at Grandma and Grandpa's place, riding the wheel horse lawnmower.
It's either Tim or Mark.
Yeah.
There's Tim and Mark again.
Playing out in front of Grandma's house. Well, it'd be great Grandma's house. Tim and Mark were great grandsons. There we are combining, I don't know,
Wheat.
whether it's wheat or soybeans with a
Little weeds in them.
little International 101 combine. It was a 1961 model, so it's later than that.
Look at the weeds in
Yeah.
them.
John with grandsons Tim and Mark.
There's our hibiscus bush.
There we are. We're dumping grain into the elevator. Putting it in the bins down at Grandpa's place.
Must be corn because you're dressed warmer.
I don't know.
You had a jacket
Probably
on.
is shelled corn. There we're dumping into Owen Caston's truck. Dumping on the run. What a deal. Shut her off. Around the corner we go.
There's Wendell driving the combine.
Yep, combine and corn. 3 rows at a time.
There's Gina and Greg
Mm-hmm.
and the cats.
At Grandma's back door.
Greg's got his ear of corn.
Yep. There we're at the front door of the house.
There's Gail, Dane, Wendy, and Gina, and Greg.
Yep.
Must have been in about 1962. There is Bill
Bill
and
and
Jeff and Gina and I don't know. There's Gail. No, that's Gina again. And Gail and Wendy and
What's the occasion?
Christmas.
Yep.
I still have that stocking that Grandma made me like that.
There's Berta. And Eldon.
Said he had a mustache. There's Ruby and Bill and
Ruby.
Jeff.
Yep. Berta.
Berta.
That's
Uh-oh.
Don Walker and his twin sisters Margie and Margie. They would be
There's Aunt Vi and
they
who
would
else?
be nieces of they would be grandnieces of Grandma Armour's.
Who's that with Aunt Vi? There's Uncle
There's
Jim
Uncle
with
Jim
the cigar.
There's Don Walker showing off. Harold Allen with us on the
Sterling
left.
Allen.
Aunt Vi.
There's Berta.
Berta. Margaret.
Minnie.
Minnie Allen. Robert's wife.
Who's that? Oh, there's Dorothy Smurl. In the front, Violet Conacher.
Well,
Grace Conacher.
Yeah.
There's Grandma's flowers
Must
that
be
she had in
some
the house.
Easter lilies there, aren't they?
No. Christmas cactus. There's Gina sitting on Jan's lap.
Yep.
There's Jeff sitting on Ruby, and there's Dane. Being silly. There's Gordon and
Gordon.
Lucy.
Eating ice cream. Yeah.
We did that a lot. And there's Wendy and Elvira.
Orly and Alvaro.
No,
Yeah.
that's Lisa and Arlene Elvira.
Right. Who's that licking on sucker?
I don't know who's back there looking on sucker. There's Patty with
Patty.
Greg sitting on his lap. Don't know who that is.
That's Della Fullington in the middle and Berta on the left.
Okay, who's behind the table? That's Jeff running out towards the car, I think. Boy, I don't know who
There's
those
Ruby on
are.
the left.
That's Gordon's kids. Ruby on the left, and there stands Lucy. I don't know who this is.
It's got to be at a wedding reception again.
Right. And there's the gifts. You notice all the hats we wore to the weddings?
Sure. Who's with this man?
I don't know. If these people had faces, I could tell you more. Who is that?
I don't know.
There's Gina
on the
and
left.
Gail.
Gail.
Is that Annette?
There's
Kevin and Mike and Dennis. Brian.
into that ice cream.
I don't know him. There's Annadelle and her two boys, and Alice and Eileen and Adeline and
Wendell, Geneva, John.
who's that?
I don't know.
Oh, there's the Jeff and
Backdoor grandmas
Mark
again.
and Timmy, John. There's Bill.
Yep.
Ruby always had her dog.
There's Arlie pitching horseshoes, isn't it? Or
It's more
John.
like Mike. Looks like Mike and
Oh, that's Dennis in
Brian and
foreground.
Dennis and Kevin probably.
Down at Grandma's. Out beside the mulberry trees. That's Dennis.
That must be Annette.
Is that?
That's Jeff and Tim and Mark.
Yep.
That Jeff is a kisser, isn't he?
There's Bill and
Alice and Eileen.
Alice and Eileen. Ruby, John, Adeline, and Annabelle. There's Alice, Eileen, Ruby, Bill. John, Annabelle, Adeline.
There's Timmy and Mark again.
Yep.
Quite a hat, right?
Yeah. Come on, boys, let's get in the car. Let's go. It's time to go.
There's the cat family. This is Grandma's trip
Yeah,
to
this is-
Niagara Falls.
Yeah. Can't believe those ladies brought all that luggage.
We still got that one suitcase in our garage. I recognized it.
Oh.
Look how dressed up they were to go on a
Oh,
trip.
yeah.
No pants in those days for older ladies.
Mm. Niagara Falls. Must be in Canada.
That's a peace garden.
That's a
Better talk or they'll get you to sleep.
more sights to see. Had to be in the fall of the year with the trees like that. Must be in the States. Yep. Old Man of the Mountains.
Want to buy some apples?
Just gotta stop at this produce stand. We're still on our bus trip out east, seeing some of these beautiful sights.
No, Wendell and I understand why we never take pictures. We don't have a camera.
Mount Vernon, George Washington, home of George Washington, right?
Yep.
Looks Looks like they're taking care of it.
This must be that.
That's this Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yeah.
Changing of the guard. Spectacular buildings. Must be on our way home. We're back home. Back home to the flowers. This is along the back of the house. This is the northeast corner of the house, I think. Flowers along the end of the garage. Back to the cats. They must have survived the trip. This is a shot of Geneva and Wendell with their family, and Herman and Claire Frankie, Geneva's parents. Greg is hiding behind Dane there. And then this is a shot with Grandma Armour instead of Geneva in the same picture. Now we see Greg slipping out from behind Dane. This is a picture of Todd as a newborn. Taken probably back in the late 50s, maybe up into the 60s. We're not sure about this.
Those are flowers.
Yeah, Grandma Armour loved flowers, and that's a shot of some of them. This is
Ruby's dog.
okay. That's a scene out the north window of Grandma Armour's house. There's a couple of tractors sitting there. I think, I'll bet one of them is Owen Caston's. I think he helped us a little bit at one time. The John Deere is probably Owen's. There's 3 tractors in the field. One's taken off plan. There's a shot of Owen Caston, Eldon Armour, and
Harley.
Harley. Yeah. There's a shot of Gordon and Lucy and family came. There's Well, it'd be Janice and Patty and Nancy and David Gordon, the son. There's a shot of John and Annadelle and her two boys, and
Ruby.
Ruby and Allison and Gordon and Lucy.
That's Mark and Tim Reese.
Yep, that's Annadelle's two boys. They were a year apart, but they were about together.
There's Gail, Dane, me, and Gina, and Wendell, and Wendy. That's our 6 kids.
Yeah. That's our new 61 Rambler. What a deal.
That's my coat, didn't
Yeah. We had to go to station wagon. That was the first station we had for our family.
it? It's a pretty tree.
That's a shot of Grandma Armour's yard again with a pretty tree in it. That'd be the northeast corner of the yard.
That's Jeff and Susie.
Jeff and Susie Kepper on the back steps of Grandma's. Ruby's first 2 kids.
They're cute.
Yeah.
Jeff's giving Susie a kiss.
There's Ruby with the 2 kids. They lived in Chicago area. Okay, this is taken up at Eldon and Verda's. We think
That's a sale.
it's a sale day at Eldon and Verda's. They sold out in 1961. I think that's right. Maybe 62. It's a picture of the crowd.
There's Arlie. There's Berta.
Berta. Is that Norma? Here's some of the articles on sale. Some of the cars parked around. There's sale items out in the background.
It's a cold, snowy day.
Was it a cold, snowy day?
Well,
Or
look
is
at
that
it.
just illusion?
I don't know.
Well, I guess it was a cold day. Everybody's dressed up. There's Uncle Verge Armour's truck.
Here's your truck.
My truck. That's maybe Owen Caston's truck. This is when we moved him to town. Loaded the furniture up and went to town.
Moved Eldon Berta to town.
Eldon and Berta, yeah. Moved him on High Street in town.
Is that Dane or is that
That
Brian?
was- What do we got here?
Looks like Brian's head. If we can't see anything, is that Rube? Canada?
Don't know.
Can't tell.
There's Berta Eldon, Ruby. Is that Becky
Well, might be.
on her lap?
And Bill Kepper.
Yep. And Jeff and Susie in front of Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's Becky. I can see that.
Right.
now.
This shot on the south side of the garage of the lilacs.
Irises.
Irises? Okay, well. I never was very good at flowers. Yeah, irises. This is at Grandma's. This is another shot of flowers up probably
North side of the house, I think.
north and east. She had a few cats around too all the time.
That's her flowers in front
Flowers.
of the window in the house.
Yeah, inside.
South windows.
There's a picture of Me pulling a cultivator with a planter behind it. Trying to save some fuel and time.
Who's that?
Shot of
That's Helen Scott and her
Helen and
husband.
Frank Scott from Greensboro, North Carolina. Helen was a niece of Dad Armour's.
Oh, I
There's
don't know who
Aunt
that is.
Irene on the left.
That's Greg. We don't know all these people. There's Nancy.
What year would this been?
There's Adeline and Wendell and Gordon and Ruby and Eileen and Eldon and Nancy and David and John Fullington and Gail and
What year would that have been?
I was a freshman in high school, so it was about 1968.
68.
Bert and Eldon and Adeline and John and Ruby and Gordon and
Bill kept
Bill.
an eye.
There's Wendy
Andy,
and Patty
Patty,
and Lisa, is it? Me and Wendell. And there's Annette
Annette, yeah.
and Nancy and Wendy.
Wendy,
And Gina. Gail.
Lucy.
Could have been 69 or 70.
I didn't realize we had pictures that late.
I didn't either. I've never seen this before, have I?
I don't think I have either.
There's
Adeline,
Adeline and Berta and that must
Ruby,
be
Holden,
Becky.
Becky.
And that's the Headless Wonder.
We see the bodies, but we don't see the heads.
You girls speak up if you know these people.
Yeah.
There's Gina.
Out in front of the garage.
There's Patty,
Yep.
right in the center there. Grandma's flowers.
Where's this?
Beaver Dam.
Must be on a trip. Well, we think maybe this is a trip that Grandma took out east to Niagara Falls and points east.
Is it a bus trip?
Yeah, bus
That
trip.
looks like-
It's a grist mill somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like Gatlinburg, Tennessee to me.
Is that?
Well, I don't know. That's, you know, this was a pretty good trip for Grandma. She was how old at the time?
75 probably.
Let's see, if it was 68 or 9, it would be 70, 71, 72.
She took bus trips after Grandpa passed away.
Stone Mountain, yeah, that's out east. That's out to the Smokies, it looks like.
Stone Mountain Scenic Railroad. Here's her bus.
And Grandma would have been at least 75 when she did that.
Is that right?
She was 79, 78 or 79 when she died in 1972.
That must be what the lady is.
No, most of these pictures were from that trip she took.
Remember how excited Grandma was when they put a man on the moon?
Yes. We all watched it at her house.
Hmm?
We all watched it at her house. That's,
This again is narrated down at Pat and Gina Norris's house. Gina's the daughter of Wendell and Geneva. The date is Saturday, September 30, '06.
Compliments of Pat Norris, Gina's husband.
Pat took 8mm film and put it on CDs.
DVDs.
Yeah, DVDs. Well, and then added narration to it. He did the CDs or DVDs about 3 years ago, and we just now getting around to narrating them.
That's Grandma's garden. Isn't it?
Grandma's flowers.
It's pretty.
She was a beautiful gardener.
This is taken east of her house.
Oh gosh.
She must have a new pup.
It's recording, which is fine.
New pup showing his authority. That's the scene in front of the house.
She must have made a cake.
Oh,
That's so pretty.
isn't that a pretty cake?
Somebody's having a birthday.
What's this occasion?
Oh, who is that? That's Lisa and Jeff,
It looked like
was it?
maybe Lisa and Mark and Tim.
No, this has got to be down in Florida
Yeah.
at
Probably
John
Adeline made
John
that cake.
Adeline's house.
Yeah, Adeline, I bet did make it. Yeah, that's Adeline's trees
Yeah.
behind the house. Adeline had a pretty yard.
She loved flowers too.
She loved flowers and antiques.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Mark and Tim.
Mark and Tim Reese. This is Grandpa John.
Twins.
Tollington. They're like
Oh,
11
there.
months apart.
Grandpa John Fullington pretty well raised those boys.
That's not bad. The rose is pretty.
Yep. There's Eileen with a baby calf. That's probably out at their place. Probably had an orphan calf they brought into town to get it going.
This is the back of Eileen's house. This is something that the Varner kids were participating in, I'm sure.
Arlen Armour?
With Lisa.
Lisa. Yep.
What is it?
I don't know.
Say so. We don't know what this
There's
is.
Arlene
There's Arlene
Alvera.
Alvera. Evidently, Grandma was visiting Arlene Alvera in Florida on these pictures.
I think Arlie worked at this place.
It's a steel
Briefly.
company. There's Arlie and Lisa.
Yeah.
This is Brian feeding a donkey. Annette on the donkey. Oh, I don't know. This is Brian
Kevin,
again.
Brian, and Annette, wasn't it?
I don't know. There's
There's
Mike.
Mike.
Kevin.